Budapest, the capital of Hungary, and considered by many to be the Paris of the East, is one of the most culturally important metropolises in Eastern Europe and is home to numerous UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Although humans have lived here since the Stone Age, this beautiful city only formally came into being in 1872 with the amalgamation of three previously independent towns, Buda, and Pest, to become the administrative, commercial, and industrial center of Hungary. Straddling the River Danube, Budapest is famous for its thermal springs, some of which have been used for therapeutic purposes since prehistory. In fact, Budapest has so many things to do that you'll want to spend at least a few days exploring this dynamic city. Popular attractions range from impressive architecture and poignant reminders of 20th century history to its vibrant cultural and entertainment scene, with everything from street buskers to classical concerts and beautiful churches. Let's explore the best things to do in Budapest. 1. Castle Hill and Buda Castle. Located on the west side of the Danube River, Castle Hill is a must-see district for any Budapest visitor. From the castle to Matthias Church, to the underground castle labyrinth, to Fisherman's Bastion, you'll find there's almost no end to what you can learn about Budapest's past. The lack of vehicle traffic also lends an old-world charm to the area. Plus, travelers say you'll discover sweeping city panoramas from multiple locales in the neighborhood. Fascinating to explore, the large Buda Castle and Palace complex was once the home of Hungarian kings and queens of years gone by. Built in 1265, at one end of Castle Hill, the regal Baroque palace is now home to the Budapest History Museum and the Hungarian National Gallery, both of which are well worth visiting. While the former sports lots of interesting artifacts that take you through Budapest's tumultuous past, the latter exhibits a huge array of incredible paintings, sculptures, and prints, perfect for people interested in art, history, and architecture. Buda Castle lies just a stone's throw away from many of the most important sites in the city. 2. Hungarian Parliament Building. Completed in 1902, the Hungarian Parliament is a stunning blend of neo-Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque architecture. With 20 kilometers, or 12.5 miles of stairs, and 691 rooms, this building is the third largest parliament building in the world. The Republic of Hungary is a parliamentary republic with a complex election system, and the country has a president and a prime minister. Take a guided tour of the Hungarian Parliament, which is only possible when Parliament isn't in session, to see the old House of Lords and the Hungarian crown jewels. During the Cold War, the Hungarian crown jewels were given to the United States Army to keep them safe from the Soviet Union. They were kept in the United States Bullion Depository, often known as Fort Knox, with America's gold reserves, and were returned to Hungary by Jimmy Carter in 1978. 3. St. Stephen's Basilica. This basilica is one of the most important religious buildings in Hungary, and visitors to the reliquary can see the right hand of Stephen, first king of Hungary. As this is a holy site, visitors who plan on entering the church are asked to keep their knees and shoulders covered. Those with a head for heights can travel up to the base of the dome and look out over the city. On a clear day, this is a great vantage point from which to survey Budapest from the air. Classical music concerts and organ concerts regularly take place inside the basilica and sometimes spill out into the square outside. The roof, towers, and external walls were badly damaged in World War II, and the church's precious mosaics fell from the walls. However, these were successfully restored to their original place and are the highlight of the richly decorated interior. The most impressive of these, a 5-part Venetian mosaic, is in the sanctuary and represents the allegories of the Mass. 4. Fisherman's Bastion. Located in the historic district of Castle Hill, Fisherman's Bastion is a neo-Gothic terrace that looks like a structure taken straight out of a fairy tale. Designed and built in 1905 by Frigyes Schulek, the same architect who built the adjacent Matthias Church. Fisherman's Bastion is named after the medieval guild of fishermen who protected Budapest from invasion. Visitors say Fisherman's Bastion's gleaming white structure provides panoramic views of the city. From here, you can snap some breathtaking pictures of the Danube River, Margaret Island, and Pest. Also save time for exploring the site's 7 ornate turrets, which symbolize the tents of the 7 Magyar leaders who settled the Carpathian Basin, ultimately leading to the existence of modern-day Hungary. 5. Matthias Church. Officially named the Church of the Assumption of the Buda Castle, Matthias Church sits in front of the Fisherman's Bastion in the center of Buda's Castle district. The church's first iteration, then dedicated to Mary, was built in 1015 under the first king of Hungary, Saint Stephen, though nothing remains of it. The current building is remarkable for its late Gothic style, first constructed in the second half of the 14th century and restored in the late 19th century. The name of the contemporary church refers not to Saint Matthias, but to King Matthias Corvinus the Fair, who remodeled the building in the 15th century with the addition of the church's southern tower, the appropriately named Matthias Bell Tower. During the Turkish invasion of the 16th century, it was converted to a mosque, which is why it has vibrant colors and designs that aren't as common in European churches. The church has a colorful roof that almost makes it look like it was built from Lego. Once inside, you'll see huge vaulted ceilings and ornate decor. 6. Gellért Hill. Aside from the amazing views of Budapest, Gellért Hill is famous because of its place in history. The hill is named after Saint Gerard, who was thrown to his death from the hill in the 11th century. He was placed in a barrel and rolled down the hill during the Pagan Rebellion. During World War II, the Soviets used the hill as a strategic point when they retook the city. That's why you'll find the Liberty Statue, a monument which was erected by the Soviets to commemorate their victory in liberating Budapest. Aside from that, the hill is home to the Citadella, which was built in the 1800s, has since been declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You can go inside if you want to see more of it. If you want to see all that, you can expect a long walk up to the top. But there are lots of different paths that win through the green parkland. If you're lucky, you might even see wildlife. Apparently, there are lots of hedgehogs. Gellért Hill is also home to the famous Gellért Hotel and the Gellért Baths, which are connected to the complex. 7. Hero Square. Known as Házak Tere by its locals, this is the main hub for sightseeing in Budapest. All major attractions in the city are measured by their distance from Hero Square. Situated between the Museum of Fine Arts and the Palace of Art, this attraction's invention dates back to 1896. It is known for its high-rise statues of Budapest freedom fighters and leaders. All of the statues have been made by Zala Gellért. During the sunset, this spot attracts the most number of tourists and photographers. One has to devote more than one day here as there is so much to eat, see and explore. Hero Square was mainly built to celebrate the millennial celebrations of Budapest. The main statue that is situated in between of the circle is 40 meters high. This square is known to be one of the oldest man-made monuments in the world, and in 2002 was also titled as a World Heritage Site. The statues pay homage to the 7 tribes of Hungarian religion, who are known to be the founders of the country. 8. Hungarian State Opera House. The Hungarian State Opera House is one of the grandest attractions in Budapest. Construction began on the handsome building in the 1870s, and the Opera House opened in 1884. Today, it is the country's second biggest opera house. Built in a neo-Renaissance style with several Baroque details and a musical theme, it is beautiful both inside and out. It has hosted a number of famous performers over the years and is the home of the traditional Budapest Opera Ball. Performances at the Opera House continue to draw large crowds, and the acoustics are world-class. Indeed, it is often said to be one of Europe's most beautiful opera houses with some of the best acoustics in the continent. Appreciate the fine details of the symmetrical building, taking in the opulent decorative touches and artistic features. See the statues of Franz Liszt and Ferenc Erkel, composer of the Hungarian national anthem, that stand proudly in front of the building, and take a daily guided tour, available in several languages, to admire the gorgeous interiors. 9. Margaret Island. Budapest can be expensive at times, so this is a great place to come if money becomes a bit tight. Located in the River Danube, the charming Margaret Island is 96 hectares in size. It is connected by a bridge, mainly covered in lush parks. There's no charge to wander around the island and soak up the sights. There are some medieval-era ruins on the island, legacies from times gone by. When the island was filled with religious buildings, convents, and monasteries, they include the remains of a Premonstratensian church from the 12th century and Dominican and Franciscan churches from the 13th century. Today, there are diverse sightseeing and leisure opportunities. 10. City Park. With its pretty lake, the 302-acre heavily wooded City Park is a popular recreational site for both Budapest locals and visitors. Laid out in the 19th century, the park has had many additions over the years. Sightseeing highlights include the Museum of Fine Arts and the Palace of Art, the Municipal Zoological and Botanical Garden, the excellent Transport Museum of Budapest, Tivoli Pleasure Park, with its kids' rides and arcades, the massive open-air Széchenyi Medicinal Bath, the fairytale Vajahaniad Castle, and the 100,000-seat People's Stadium.